To demonstrate our shadow workflow and evil twin integration attack, we begin the journey by being logged in as our compromised Azure account. We don't want to lose access to this account, so we are seeking to backdoor the account to maintain persistent access beyond password changes, MFA resets, or similar response activities. The first step is to enumerate existing OAuth integrations to identify potential targets for an evil twin integration. In this example, we will use the simple GUI option of browsing the apps list in the Microsoft My Apps dashboard. Here we can see there are multiple different Zapier integrations. Zapier is a powerful SaaS automation app and a great potential target. We'll look at what permissions have been granted. Looking at the Zapier To-Do app, we can see it's been granted permissions for file access, which is very useful to us. If we switch to the Zapier Outlook integration, we can see this has been granted access to email as well, another really useful capability. Okay, so it looks like the compromised user was making use of Zapier. Before we jump to creating our own shadow workflows, let's see if we can scope out their account to understand it better. If they've been following good security practices, they probably log in via SSO or social login, so we may just be able to log in directly with their Azure account. Let's give that a try. Okay, so it worked, and we are now in their Zapier account. Let's check out their automation workflows, known as Zaps in Zapier, to see what they were doing. It looks like they have one set up for forwarding expenses that connects their Outlook to their OneDrive. That explains the file and email permissions we saw earlier. Let's double check the integrations to check they look good. Okay, we can see active OneDrive and Outlook connections, and they're for the correct user account. All looks good. At this point, we could backdoor the existing expenses workflow, or we could create a new one and possibly hide it in a different folder. However, there is always the chance that the user may discover this later, and we may get locked out of the Zapier account too. Instead, we are going to create an evil twin integration using a separate Zapier account that only we control. To do that, we'll first sign up for a new Zapier account using our own Google account. Now that we have a new Zapier account, we'll create a new Zap to automatically forward new files in their OneDrive to our own Google Drive account. To do that, we'll create a OneDrive trigger on a new file and connect it to their Azure account. We won't need to consent to any Azure permissions as they have already been granted access by the user previously. Then for the action, we'll select Google Drive and set it to upload a file and connect it to our own Google account and consent for Zapier to access it. The end result will be that Zapier monitors the compromised user's OneDrive in the background and then copies any new files and uploads them to our own Google Drive. Let's publish that and then see it in action. We'll head back to OneDrive and create a new confidential file as a test. Now that's created, we'll head over to our own Google Drive and wait. And there we go, the file has appeared. Our shadow workflow is doing its job. And because we made it an evil twin integration, there will be no logs showing a new application consent or any new permission grants either. Even when the user changes their password, we can go back to our Zapier account and create new shadow workflows using the existing integrations to perform new tasks as well. All things considered, this is a very powerful attack chain.